John Lennon. We were all enormous Elvis Presley fans and very badly wanted to meet him. I don't recall if he invited us to his place or if we invited ourselves, but the day before our concert at the Hollywood Bowl, there we were at his mansion, the four of us, Elvis's manager, Colonel Tom Parker, a bunch of hanger-ons, and the king of rock and roll himself. We wanted to speak with Elvis without any prying ears, so I hypnotized Colonel Tom and the other blokes who were along about, then Ringo dragged them into the garage and pinned them up to the wall with a couple hundred shuriken. Elvis was a little bit out of it when we got there. Apparently he imbibed a handful of his favorite pharmaceuticals before we arrived. So George took him to his kitchen and slapped him around for a few minutes until he was more or less lucid. When he was finally coherent and comfortable in the living room, I started in on my recruitment speech. I kneeled down in front of Elvis. It was like he was royalty and I was one of the subjects. And I said, listen, King, your life is all about eating banana sandwiches and shoving down all the drugs you can find and playing music and making movies. Now that sounds like a pretty fucking good life to me, mate. And if I'm you, I want that life to go on forever. And let's face it, you're not getting any younger, and you're starting to get a little softer around the middle, and I don't know how many pills you take to get going in the morning, and I don't even know what to say about that wardrobe, but it's all going downhill. You're not looking as good as you did in the 50s, but the good news is that if you stay on this planet for all eternity, you can get your shank together like nobody's business. Elvis said, what are you talking about? I said, what am I talking about? Mate, I'm talking about making you a zombie who will walk the earth forever. Elvis said, what kind of mess do you feed me? Zombies don't exist. I said, look at me, mate. He said, yeah, I'm looking. So what? I said, my face is gray, like dead guy gray. Elvis said, so's Colonel Tom's. I had to admit he had a point there. I said, okay, well watch this. And then I took off both of my pinkies and played a little drum fill on his lap. I said, that's a zombie thing. Colonel Tom can't do that. He shrugged and said, yeah, but I'll see the guy in Tupelo who could. I said, he was probably a zombie. Lots of undead in the American South, mate. Elvis said, zombies don't exist. I said, yes, they do. Then I reattached my pinkies and removed my left leg. Elvis said, no, they don't. I said, yes. Then I reattached my leg and removed my right arm. He said, no. I realized this could go on all day, so I put my arm back on and said, okay, King, let's pretend. Let's say that zombies did exist. Wouldn't you want to be one? Wouldn't you want to eat your fucked up sandwiches and take lots and lots of drugs and sing songs and shoot mediocre to crappy films forever and ever and ever? Not to mention you can food all the birds you want and not worry about getting anybody pregnant or catching syphilis. Doesn't that sound top notch? Elvis nodded for a while. I knew I had him. Right when I was about to dive into his neck and start the good old Liverpool process, he said, you know what, John? I don't want to be known forever. Me, I want to die on the crapper taking a righteous dump. That's how my daddy died. That's how my daddy's died. And that's how my daddy died. Now, I'm not sure how my daddy died, but if I were a betting man, well, I'd wager that he also kicked the bucket, or parked on the commode, laid in some pipe. Really, what can you say to that? So Ringo freed Colonel Tom and his gang, and then we went on our merry way. I was so depressed by the whole thing that I forced the incident out of my head. And as a matter of fact, the next time I thought about it was some 12 years later when Elvis died on the crapper, taking a righteous dump.